Well, once again, I'm back. Uh, I made this simple line jig. It's just it's a block of wood. I did do the roundovers on it, but no big deal. Some 2x2, and I got a hook here to hold the lines on, and then you can buy a wood screw to machine screw type stud, and I put a piece of rubber here, so that'll hold the lines. I've shown this before, but it doesn't hurt to remind you. Fred Cornenwet made me up a new line reel. It has Booter Park and 2024 inside it. We're going to modify this because it just needs some work. But I'm gonna take and put letter these inside here. I'm gonna need to do my tattoo removal sign here shortly from one of the channel members. I'll show you what I'm doing now. I'm almost finished getting the letters on this. I'm sorry about the forum, but we should be good for a while. I'm trying to get some cloud-based backup now. That's what I just lettered right there. 2024. We'll do, if you look here, there's no letters. I'll letter Booter Park inside there. This is the set of lines for the orange airplane. Steve gave me an orange safety thong. This is just so I need to put Viper on this side. This is so I know which lines go to which airplane. I got about 40 sets of lines. Now I get my bulk line from Melvin Schutte. I don't know if he has a website or whatever, but he's a combat guy. He's normally at the Nats, and you get 1,000 foot for $30. So for $30, I can make let's see, 50 into 1,000. How many sets can I make? 1, 10, about 9 set of lines for $30. I'm almost done here. Then we'll put the ends on it. Just been putting together some stuff I'm going to sell at Brodax. Got a Prather pitch gauge. If anybody interested in a pitch gauge, it's going to Brodax. I'm going to sell that, and balancer, a box of props. I need to modify this and drill a hole in it and put a bolt and I need to cut a couple grooves in it because the clip don't fit. But we'll get it taken care of. All right, so we got it lettered up. It's done with a Sharpie, but it should be all right. Booter Park 2024. All right, so first thing you want to do is I run the big long 100-foot tape outside and cut these lines 66 feet. That should be plenty. Give me plenty to do this job. Take a little eyelet, you put it on here like so. And I'll wrap these two lines. And matter of fact, let me get some shrink wrap on these two. Black, where's my red? There's red. Do red one first. Okay. Now Jim Lee sells that little clothespin thing, but I haven't been able to do a real neat job with them. So then I take forceps. Tie it up like so. Pull it tight. Now you got two hands that you can use. All right, wires. This comes from Melvin Shooty too. Just a roll of, I don't know what gauge wire this is, but it's real fine stuff. Band off of it here. And come on. There it is. It'll take about 2 foot, maybe. Leave this out here like so. And we're gonna go around here. Come on, you. I need to put another screw in there that I can go around beside this because these are held down. This first bend is always the hard one to get. Get stuff in the way. There we go. I'm going to do 2 of these tonight, and I'm going flying tomorrow. I'll do 2 at the field. I don't feel like going back out on the sidewalk and reeling them out and marking them. But you could mark both ends on the sidewalk. I didn't. Come on now. You know what? I should have went around there twice. Crap. No, shoot. Doing lead outs here. Okay. I made a mistake live online, but we rectified it. You don't want these things coming apart. There we go. Okay, let's try again. I'm having a heck of a time. Okay, round twice. There we go. That's more better. Like tying flies. Okay. You know what? I got another screw right here. We'll put in this thing, so fix this thing right now. Damn well, I got a screw in here. There it is. Oh, better. Took about 5 minutes to make this jig. It's no big deal. I do the lead outs basically the same way, except you can't use this holder. You gotta do them on the airplane. And I don't go around the eyelet twice because the wire is too thick. But seeing that this is only 15 thousandths wire, we can go around twice. Now, Tom Morris, most of the lines you guys will have epoxy or maybe nothing on there, but I like to put color coordinated shrink wrap on my lines. That way they don't get mixed up. Of course, I leave one clip on the lines and one clip on the airplane too. But over redundance. I do not want to make a mistake that I've seen done 100 times. I need a piece of leather on top of the rubber there to hold this tight. Get rid of this out of the way. There we go. I gotta fix that. It just slips. What the hell can I use to fix that? Got rubber on one side. We need leather is what I need. Maybe a piece of balsa. No, balsa would be too soft. Phenolics too hard. Rubber, no, I know. We'll try a piece of pipe insulation. Think outside the box. All right. Scissors, where are they? Nope. Scissors. Going to a contest Friday. Be there on Saturday. Yeah, there they are. Okay, let's try that. Maybe put a piece of a hole in this. Yep. That'll do it. That's better. You know. I need to work it and see if it slips. I think a leather belt would probably be the best. I need to go to the thrift store and get a leather belt. Actually, no, this worked good. Nope, it didn't. Damn. Yep, have to get a leather belt. These are the type of things that you have to do if you want to be, this hobby there's a lot to it. It's not just going to the store and buying an ARF or yet Cinco and flying. I mean, this is supposed to be a flying event, not a building and flying event. And somebody says, well, you need to make your own motors. Well, you know what? If I had the machinery, I would. And that would be, matter of fact, that would be the ultimate if I could build my own engine, because I build it the way I want. I don't see my torch. I might have to get the big torch. Or use the monocoat gun, I guess. Guys would be at work, for Harley Davidson, they'd be shrinking heat shrink with matches and a lighter. And I said, quit being a hillbilly, get a heat gun. Wheels Through Time. That was owned by Dale. And the Harley shop in Mount Vernon had a museum. And Dale, who I've talked to, he's dead now, but my boss bought him out. And I'm watching Wheels Through Time, and he got this 55 panhead, all original. And they got some guy there going to pick the lock. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. You don't need a lockpick set to pick a Harley Davidson lock, not of that vintage. You do now. You have to be a locksmith now, but back in that vintage, all you need is a 35 thousandths feeler gauge that's a 1/4 inch wide, and stick it straight in and turn the key, turn the ignition, any one of them. But he made it look like it was so complicated. Shit, I'd had that thing off and gone in about 2 seconds. Even today, with the TSS module on the turn signal security module, there's a certain sequence of buttons that you push, the right turn signal, left turn signal, a certain way that you do that. It puts it in transport mode, and off you go with it. So if you're a regular, I'm a trained master service technology technician, they're simple. All that stuff is simple. And Marty, if you're watching this, if you'd like to like me to show you that trick on your bike when I come over to put the transmission in, I'll be glad to do it for you. People think they're secure. They ain't secure. Marty watches this channel. Dale was smart, though, to get the hell out of Mount Vernon, Illinois. Get out of Illinois. That looks plenty long enough. Now the wire flips back on itself. Is there faster ways to do this? Yeah, probably. You could crimp a furl on it. I got a set of pliers up there to crimp furls. I don't trust them. But I think this looks more professional, and it gives me this peace of mind that I wrap the lines. I know the ends ain't coming off of them. And it's relaxing to sit here and do this stuff. Not so much talking while I'm doing it, but showing you guys how to do it. Yeah, we didn't hold too much attention tonight. That's okay. Craig, if you're watching, I'm still working on landing gear. I'm gonna be. I'll get them to you before the Nats, but I got to get ready for Brodak now. Then yesterday with that debacle with Stunhanger, what a deal that was. The minute that it goes down, I get a notification on my phone, so please don't call me. You guys think you're helping me. All you're doing is aggravating me. Oh, man. My hands get cramps. Hey, Steve. I think I'm going to sell one of my Brian Gardner liners, too. Shit, I just put a little nick in that line. There, I got it. Better not do that again. Okay, we're getting close here. Finish it off. I think this is an overkill knot myself, but this is what's required for insurance. Okay, let's cut this short. And I wrap right up to the eyelet. That way there's no sliding around. I hate getting a set of lines that is loose on the end, because they only get worse over time. Okay. Yeah, that's how much wire we wasted right there. Big deal. Well, that and a little bit over on this end. Take this tail, cut it off, tuck it back over this way. Yeah. Yep. Come on, you. You're giving me a fit today. Because I'm trying to do this on camera. There it is. Now let's see if we can find the torch. Torch or the heat gun, one. Torch would be easier. I don't see it. Should jump right out. It's bright green. Well, I guess I better get my batteries. What the hell did I do with the torch? It should be right here. I don't even see the end of my big torch. Shit. Losing my mind. In this box. Nope. Okay. Gotta screw around with it. We'll just do it with this. And that's it. That's that. needed to get it on this side too. Okay. One took what? 30 minutes. It's ridiculous. That's all right. We got plenty of time. Okay. What do you guys think of my little jig? Okay, we need a piece of black. And it needs to be how long? It needs to be that long. I think this heat shrink could probably go over those eyelets. I have to slide it on the line first. I had smaller stuff. Yes, it will. So we're not going to put that on until after I get it wrapped. No, we don't have to monkey with it. You dog. Come on now. Yep, leather belt would be better than that foam. I always make a new set of lines every year for every airplane. Cheap insurance. And you need to replace your handle cable about every other year, depending on how much you fly. But for me, it's about every other year. You're using a CAS type panel right there at the place where it comes out. It's going like that. It work hardens and then it starts to fray. And the minute you see one fray, phew, that's done. There's no saving it. Get a new piece of handle wire. Another cheap insurance. It's kind of like on motorcycles. I used to put a new set of tires on I change my oil every 3,000 miles, even though they say you can go 5,000. No, I change mine every 3,000. I come from the old school of that's how it used to be done, and that's what I'm going to do. But you don't want that shit floating around in your oil, the particles floating around in your oil for 5,000 miles. But anyway, used to change my tires the minute they showed any sign of wear. You only got two tires, one head. And if you've ever had a front flat tire on a motorcycle, you will never forget it. And I've had it happen. It is scary as hell. So do yourself a favor. New sets of lines, new handles. I change glow plugs every year too, whether it needs it or not. Sometimes a couple times a year, whatever it needs it, but I start out the season with a fresh plug. Yeah, it's $15 now instead of 49 cents like it used to be. But there again, cheap insurance. You ever had a flame out over pavement inverted? You'll wish you changed the plug. Okay, we got that now. Got it started. There we go. That's how we do it. Forceps on the end. I know this is not an interesting video, but to know how to do this correctly is very important. Kind of like I don't know how to tie spectral knots. I'm not going to use spectral lines anyway. But sorry, Dennis. I've tried them. I don't really care for them. I feel they open up in the wind. They come around and flatten out and open up. They make some weird noise. They don't feel as positive as steel cables to me. I will never use solids because they stick. Now you could do this and not make it perfect. You could just wind them up. But when I was younger, in the 60s, we raced slot cars. And I used to wind armatures. And you can't wind them willy-nilly. You got to wind them perfectly or else you don't get the right amount of winds on each pole. So, of course, I'm not counting winds here. I'm just looking at length. I think I make mine a little longer than most. I need to see exactly what the measurement is on the rule book. I just do it overkill, so not if anything ever does happen, they go, well, you didn't wind them right. And I have yet, they won't do it anymore, but they used to measure your lines. I have yet to see anybody take a mic out and measure lines. Maybe once, but it don't happen. I've never even seen a tape measure out to measure line length. Of course, that's pretty easy to do at the Nationals because they got a mark on the in the pit where you set your airplane, and then it's measured out to the pull test machine. And if your airplane goes over that line, then you're over 70 foot. I do not like flying on 70 foot. Too much line, too much flopping around. 64 foot is what I fly, so I'm 66 foot from center handle to the center of the airplane. And the outboard wingtip would be another 2 foot around. That's 68 foot, so I'm 2 foot under the 70 foot limit. You know, you really can't fly on 70 foot lines, so don't order 70 foot lines because they're too long, because that makes you 72 foot from center of the handle to the center of the airplane, and that's 2 foot over. And I just found out last weekend, the reason they don't fly D speed in our cage is that 70 foot rule in the speed cage, because the cage is not quite big enough for 70 foot. I mean, if you stood right on the pylon, you know, you had your hand in the pylon, it would be all right. But if you take one step out away from that pylon, the center of the circle, you'd rake your airplane through the chain link fence. And I have seen airplanes go through that fence. I remember, I think it was Glenn Lee. He'd stand out there in the middle of the circle with his cigar in his mouth, and that airplane would be going, you know, he wasn't flying it. Usually it was Chris Monagino, I think, was flying, or one of them guys. And that airplane would go by his head at 100 and some odd miles an hour, and he wouldn't even flinch. I'd be, shit, run for cover, buddy. That thing would kill you. Them old timers, them guys that were flying in the 40s and 50s, they don't give a shit. Yeah, we're gonna have 2 done anyway. We'll get the other 2 done tomorrow at the field, the other ends. Some place where I can stake this down and make them the exact same length as the ones I'm replacing. When I'm replacing, have little tiny, they're not really kinks, they're just little imperfections. They don't slide quite perfect. And I can feel them. And how I make these the exact same length is I drive a nail through the, I measure it out and do one end and then drive a nail through the other and do it on the nail so they're exactly the same length. Some guys have their fence set up to do it, but I don't happen to have a wood fence in the backyard. Chain link would be kind of hard to do. Suppose I could make something to do it. But there's plants on it. Kind of a boring video. Sorry about that. Just don't know what else. I mean, the real building swing won't get back into effect till after the gnats. And then it's back to building to see if I can build some more for next year. Always chasing that better flying airplane. There we go. Shit, needed to cut that. Come on. No. $7:54, so it took 1 hour. Usually doesn't take that long. I can do a lot faster if I'm not talking. And okay. Takes a little too long. There we go. There. I need to modify this so the clip fits better. All right, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, all that other good stuff. And tomorrow's Thursday. I don't know what we'll do tomorrow. Guess try to sand on something, I guess. I got to get my flight box. There's a lot to do. I got to get my flight box ready, and because I'm not taking my big box, I'm just going to take a little tiny box. And if anything happens, well, we'll just put it in the truck and go back home. So until I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.